guys, the Super Review Show for another episode of Why You Should Watch. This is the show where I basically say, look, here's a movie, here's a TV series that you guys should check out. If you have not seen these films or this TV show, get on it. It's a really great movie or TV show. And this is why I'm going to be talking today about the Planet of the Apes original franchise from 1968 to 1974 or 73, I think. This franchise, there are 5 movies in here. The Legacy Collection of the original Planet of the Apes. Check that out. One of the earliest franchises in film history. From the 5 films are Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. These are all rated G, but there are some violence in there that, that could have been like a PG rating, because PG-13 didn't exist to the 80s, guys, just saying. Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite franchises. Some people think it's stupid, like, oh, how could apes take over, whatever. Well, to be fair, this was one of the first sci-fi films ever, because it's based on a book written in French, if I'm not mistaken. And Fox found the book and said, hey, what if we adapt this into an American-made movie? Sure, why not? So they decided, hey, we're going to make it. And sure enough, it was. And the first Planet of the Apes movie, I will contend, is a stone-cold classic in Hollywood history. It's a fantastic sci-fi story. It's a fantastic time travel movie. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it's an all-around great movie. You have to watch the very first Planet of the Apes. Yes, they made 4 other movies after it, and they rebooted in 2001. Then the film series. Am I stuttering a little bit? Yes. The film series from 2014 to 2018 of those trilogy of Planet of the Apes were great. Matt Reeves' direction on those and Rupert Wyatt, fantastic job on those films. They were incredible. But those are the reboots of this, or remakes of this, if you will. But these Planet of the Apes films are classics, in my opinion. These 5, I mean, they do stand the test of time, truthfully. I mean, and yes, by the way, for those you're wondering, this is a Blu-ray copy of these films. Yes, one day I was home. I mean, this is back when I was in high school. I binge watched all of them in one day, and I was like, I need a life. But it was a fun time. I mean, the first one I knew from the get-go was a classic. They show it on Turner Classic Movies on cable all the time. It's great. But the Beneath, Escape, Conquest, and Battle, I didn't really see them before. I knew of them. I just never saw them until whenever. I will say this, too, about this franchise. This was one of the first. This franchise was one of the first to ever sell merchandise. The first to really sell, like, T-shirts or lunchboxes back in the early 70s. This is before Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. This is like the early 70s that they did, like, they did stuff for Star Wars. They did stuff for lunchboxes, T-shirts, and people were actually dressing up as the Planet of the Apes franchise, as Caesar, as his wife, all this stuff, and it was a really all around. I personally love this film series that we got back in the 70s. It is out of this world entertainment. It is a madhouse, truthfully. But these films are stone cold classics in the world of Hollywood. Now, the first one's the only really great one. The rest of them kind of fall into place. But Beneath is really good, picking up right where the first one left off, and they all kind of connect as well. They all kind of coincide with one another, and how they all tie together. Truthfully, once you get back to Escape from the Planet of the Apes, where they go back in time, they end up in 1972 Washington D.C., and they're all talking. The apes are actually, they got a little silly at some points, but overall these are really good films as well. There's a speech in one of these movies. I think it's in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. This movie has a speech by Roddy McDowall, who's a great Hollywood actor. He played Caesar in all the films. There's a speech, and I don't remember word for word what he said, but it's along the lines of where there's fire, there is smoke, and where there's smoke, there is ashes, or something. It's this really drawn out, intense speech about how the apes are going to take over the world. And so they did, and then actually I think that's for Battle for the Planet. But the speech is so iconic. I would put it in the top 25 best moments of speeches in film history. Obviously, King's speech, whatever, is in there too. But I would put that speech from that movie in the top 25 or 30 best dialogues speechers in any movie in history. It's just that good. It's such a great movie. It's such a great scene. It's very tense. It shows like depth and anger what the apes have towards mankind and whatnot. Listen, if you have not seen any of these movies, get on it. It is that good of a franchise, that good of a series. The first one is the best one, as always. But Beneath, Escape, Conquest, and Battle are all stone cold, classic movies. Like, I love this franchise, and I love these films. Battle is probably the weakest one, but that's also the fifth one they made, so there's that. It's amazing what you can do from a book, guys. If you write a book, they can adapt it, make it stories and whatnot, but all around, what do you guys think? Are you a Planet of the Apes franchise fan? Jump down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts on this film franchise. And let me know what you guys are thinking about there in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for all of your future updates. But for all of your why you should watch videos, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. The J-Man is off the rock. And it's a madhouse.